Hey everybody, I'm Grandmaster Ben Feingold. This is 5 Minutes with Ben, and I'm Ben. And my dogs are in the background giving advice on what move should be played. This is a game between Judit Polgar and Alexander Khalifman in Seville, 1993. Very tactical game, which typically favors Judit. Okay, so Khalifman played sort of a strange Philidor. Typically, if you want to play the Philidor, you play e5 now. Want to play the Pirts, you play g6. Played knight bd7. Judit likes to play the most aggressive move, and this is the best move as far as I'm concerned, f4. The dogs may differ. e5, knight f3. White has tremendous center already. Takes. Typically, White's going to castle queenside and start attacking in the center and kingside. So Judit took with the queen, which is standard. c6. Bishop e3. Judit's ready to castle. Now, Khalifman played a pawn sacrifice, which I've seen before. d5. And the idea is to unleash the bishop on the diagonal. So after takes, bishop c5, the queen retreats, then queen e7 threatens the bishop. King d2 looks bad. King f2 loses to knight g4 check. So Judit played knight d4. And Black's supposed to have good compensation for a pawn. Of course, Khalifman could take on d5 now, but he played knight b6. Judit said, I'll take another pawn. Now White's 2 pawns up. Black castled, and Black thinks he has enough play on the e and d files to punish White for taking all those pawns. Judit castled. Takes. Now, very unusual move, but I like it because White's pieces are sort of attacked on dark squares here. So Judit played bishop g1. This is better than bishop f2 because the rook defends the bishop. So now I think if it was White's move, Judit would play knight takes c6. So queen c7, which defends c6 and attacks the pawn on f4. g3. Judit's like, I'm a pawn up. What you got? Rook d8 makes a lot of sense. And rook d8, most aggressive move for Black, pinning the knight. And typically, my students are like, oh no, my knight. And not in the Eric Rosen way, but they're actually afraid because their knight's pinned and attacked. And instead of defending and playing passively, Judit goes on the offense because she calculates really well, and she plays the winning move, knight db5, confusing the audience, which in this case was her opponent. Okay, now all the pieces are hanging, but White has 2 big threats. Knight takes c7, and queen takes d8 check is also winning. So rook takes queen is forced. Knight takes queen. And you may be like, well, they traded queens, so what? Well, Judit's threatening the rook, and Judit's threatening the bishop. Now, there's a rook on d3, so they traded that off. And now Black just has 2 pieces attacked. And there's nothing Black can do. So rook d8 was the losing move, although maybe White was already better. And this wasn't a rapid start. This is a slow game. Khalifman just underestimated or missed knight b5. Took on g1. Knight takes a8. White's up the exchange and a pawn. Black put his knight on the best square, a8. Judit took back, and then Black resigned. Black's down the exchange and a pawn for nothing, and has 2 weak pawns, but isn't really important. A nice tactical melee there. A quick win for Judit in less than 20 moves. Typical Judit Polgar outcalculating her opponent and winning in tactical fashion. I'm Grandmaster Ben Feingold. This has been 5 Minutes with Ben. Please like and subscribe and leave a comment, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.